What's good? It's Chigozy. It's Saturday, December 1st, 2018. Friday, November 30th, George H.W. Bush murdered at 94 by his Freemasonic gang. This guy is a 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemason. So is his son. So is George Washington. He was the 41st president. 41 is the 13th prime. Updating this propaganda at 8:13. We're going to see why he died at 94. We're going to see why he died 194 days from his birthday. We'll look at that right now. This guy is an actor for the whole September 11th riddle. On September 11th, 1990, 11 years before the 211s get demolished in New York on the 77th meridian, is where the Pentagon is, the 77-foot tall Pentagon, which also got hit on September 11th. 194 is the number for September 11th. His son was the president during September 11th, 1991. Enlightened equals 194. Talk about Skull and Bones. He was in Skull and Bones equals 41. The Masonic Order, Masonic Fraternity within Yale. Yale 43. His son, the 43rd president. So, how they craft this news is all by this code. It's all by this ritualistic fashion. Notice how blood sacrifice equals 121. Blood sacrifice equals 121. So on December, which is just 12, first, you see how you can write December 1st with this number? They're giving us this propaganda on the main page of CNN, of all the world news outlets. Blood sacrifice 121. George Washington murdered at 6/7. Let's look at George W. Bush. Born 6/7. Freemasonry equals 67. Scottish equals 113. I just put out a video about the number 113, how on 11/30 they put out a lot of propaganda, and it was all synced up with Scottish Rite Freemasonry. Just go watch the video. You have over 30 minutes of examples of content in that video. Now we have this. He dies that day. The video is called How the Scottish Rite Freemasons Craft Propaganda on 11/3. So do you think it's any sort of coincidence then that they then murdered their Scottish Rite Freemasonic actor on 11/30? He's their propaganda. It makes perfect sense for him to die that day, especially in light of all the propaganda we saw. And that's just them crafting propaganda by the number 113. The 30th prime number. Freemason equals 147. He dies at 94, which equals 147. And remember, what was his speech about? The New World Order, so we can fight against terror. 94. Terror. That's what his son always says. That's like his son's favorite word. George W. Bush, Mr. Terror. Graduated from Yale and Skull and Bones in 1968. World Trade Center construction started in 1968, demolished 33 years later. Masonry 33 degrees of Scottish Rite Freemasonry. I hope anyone new to this channel is seeing how this all comes through, how I'm telling you this story using these words, these numbers. We see it in the propaganda. We see it how they're dying. Please, Zachary K. Hubbard had a stream last night. I wish I saw it. I didn't know he was streaming at that time, but I was watching some of it this morning. Really, a lot of good information, a lot of good connections. Derek streamed earlier today as well. Between their videos, alone, there's so much information about this. So please go there to learn more. Dan Barron always has really good genius information about things too. But what I like to specialize in is just showing you the propaganda and how you can uncover this riddle too, just by looking at CNN, Snopes, Fox News, or any of the bullshit. You can see how they're calling him 41. I mean, CNN special report, remembering 41, the 41st president. Notice how they keep talking about 41, 41. Notice how whenever they mention any sort of president, they keep using their number again and again. That alone should let you know that numbers are very important to this gang of Scottish Rite Freemasons, Zionist Jews, Jesuits. Masonry equals 84. This is an 84-second video with this Freemason. So if you haven't watched my last video and you're new to this, I would highly recommend pausing. If you're lost, pausing this video, watch my last video about how they put up propaganda on 11/3. It's the whole time is about Masonry numbers on the propaganda, Masonry riddles. You can watch it in 2x speed to make it go quicker, and then come back. Or you can just stay and watch this and then watch that later. It doesn't matter. 41's life in pictures. So, his death is synced up with John McCain. It's synced up with his son. It's synced up with so many people, right? And those could be like individual exposés. But this video is just to show you how it's all Freemasonic coding and all this propaganda, how his death is a Freemasonic ritual. And that's why I do it from the birthday, too. I mean, you do it from the birthday, you already know then, okay, this is happening a specific amount of days from something. This is from his upcoming birthday. I didn't specify that. It's from his upcoming birthday. So he died his upcoming 95th birthday. See, the September 11th terrorist attacks, that's what he's well known for, occurred 8 months into Bush's first term. He's a September 11th actor. So is his dad. They're both Freemasons. In the Scottish Rite Freemasonic Temple, there's pictures hanging up of the Bushes. George H.W. Bush, the dad, the son, because they are Scottish Rite Freemasons. That's not a secret. They're in Yale and Skull and Bones. That's not a secret. But it kind of technically is. I mean, it's a secret society, but you know what I mean. Secrecy equals 33. 39, like federal. They're both actors for the federal government. Supposedly leading the federal government, but all they did was just have lead roles in plays. So yeah, the end pictures are always fun to look at. We'll look at this. Of course, you probably saw this before. I didn't call it out. Updated at 10:58. 10:58. The only thing, it's not fair because no matter what, guys, they have these numbers in all their propaganda. It's just like me saying, look up for Donald Trump propaganda, but every single day he's in the propaganda anyway. This Freemasonic coding is going to be blurred in because, guys, he's a Scottish Rite Freemason. They're going to definitely have these numbers, but this could be about cats, right? And kittens and gumdrops. It'll still have the numbers for Freemasonry on it. But Freemasonry 158 and 58, and you see how this piece of propaganda updated at 10:58. Real quick, I want to type in Nelson Mandela because I'm wondering why he's standing there with him. Nelson Mandela equals 48 and 69 and 222 129. American 129. 48 69. Freemason equals 48 96. Order out of chaos equals 222. That's their motto. Freemason 42 96. Reflection 69. Order out of chaos 222. So do you understand how that's why they had Nelson Mandela standing there with George H.W. Bush? Because that was their way of saying, we are the Freemasons, our motto is order out of chaos, we're paying tribute to our favorite Freemason, or at least one of their favorite Freemasons in history. I'm guessing is one of their favorites. Maybe they don't play favorites. Because the only thing they favor is crafting propaganda. Deceiving the people. George Herbert Walker Bush. You gotta do his name gematria. 118. The 41st president. 41 equals 118. Plenty more to this riddle. And that's why I said please check out Zachary K. Hubbard's work on this subject. On 9/4, a date leaving 118 days in the year, George H.W. Bush receives an award. I mean, it's just stuff like that. See, 9/4 day with 118 days in the year, and just that alone. This is the calendar. Calendar equals 58. It's the Gregorian calendar. Gregorian also equals 58. The Jesuit order, the Masonic order of the Catholic Church, responsible for this. The Freemasons, responsible for this. And just the fact that they're paying 94 and 118 on their calendar. So that's why the 41st president, 41, which equals 118, and his full name equals 118, dying at 94. And again, it's all about terror with this actor. This is the part 2 to that video I made yesterday. I hope you understand. My Ocasio-Cortez video. It's all about how they craft propaganda by 113. And it's all Scottish Rite Freemasonry. And remember, it was a date with 43 numerology. Here, Bush, the son of a U.S. senator, became the U.S. Navy's youngest pilot in 1943. And oh my God. And flew 58 combat missions during World War II. This is what I'm trying to talk about. This is what I mean, that this is all by the numbers propaganda. The numbers of Freemasonry are heavily saturated, especially in this actor's propaganda. That's all he's ever been, a theatrical actor, a 33rd degree master Scottish Rite Freemason. Him and his lodge put out fake news propaganda. Masonic, 43. He dies on a date with 43 numerology. 1 + 1 + 3 + 0 + 20 + 18, 43. Of course, it was a date with 41 numerology, 11 + 30, President 52. We even get the 22nd prime right here, 79. 22 is the master builder number. Freemasonry equals 59. Numbers I talked about all last video. It's like, I don't want to say I predicted this, because I didn't, but if you look at how I was talking about the pattern yesterday, obviously it fits the entire bill. In 1966, he was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives. When you route 33, you get 66. Mason 17, the reflection of 71. 71 is also the 20th prime number. Jewish 88, Masonic ritual 88. He became president in 1988. He was vice president for both of Ronald Reagan's terms. So because he was Ronald Reagan's vice president his entire time, we can see how many days did he die from the anniversary of Ronald Reagan's death. That'll be a nice, interesting thing to do. It's all synced up. This is all a puzzle. We've already uncovered it. I mean, just the fact that we see this 58 here, I hope anyone new here now understands what I'm talking about. Remember, this piece of propaganda updated at 10:58. 58 combat missions. Dying in the time of the president who was elected during the 50th presidential election, Donald Trump, which I'm sure he synced up with Donald Trump through the birthday too. But we're going to look at Ronald Reagan, who was literally, well, guys, these are all literally actors. They're just because they don't say actor here is the same. George W. Bush, Ronald Reagan are politicians and actors, which is just a synonym. The 40th president of the U.S. 40th president. February 6th. So he died June 5th, 2004. So let's do June 5th to today. Not today, but the 30th. What a bunch of propaganda. Do you see what I'm saying? 179 days. We have Mr. 41, USA 41, the President of the USA. 179 is the 41st prime. This is how you expose this propaganda. This is how you read it and understand it. You see, I'm breaking this down so slowly, how no one can say they're lost. 179, the 41st prime, the 41st president of the United States of America. They keep calling him Mr. 41 and all this propaganda, dying on a day with 41 numerology. He was Ronald Reagan's vice president for 2 terms. That's what they said. You know, I wasn't alive during that time, but I was alive during George W. Bush's or H.W. Bush's presidency at the beginning of it. But obviously, it's what happens. You can't deny it. 179 days from the date Ronald Reagan dies, the anniversary. Bush served as vice president of the United States for both of Ronald Reagan's terms. There you have it. I mean, I know that was stupid to explain because obviously that's true, but someone will still say, "Oh, you're just making anything work." I mean, how could you say that at this point? 179, the 41st prime. He dies from Ronald Reagan. It's too perfect. What an actor. You know, Federal 51, VT 51. Okay, we're 17 minutes in. See this Yale shirt? Yale equals 43. New Haven CT, where they're from, equals 43. His son, the 43rd president. And again, Bush entered the army, or the military. See, they say it again. He flew 58 combat missions, and he entered the military in 43. I'm blown away by that Ronald Reagan. Let's just see what Ronald Reagan sums to. '56 dies the 5th of June. See this? June 5th, 5/6. His name equals 56. His name also equals 110. President equals 110, 56. And do you see how this actor, literally the guy who's billed as an actor, they make his name something the same thing as president. Do you know what other actor they do this for? Trump. 47, 25, the reflection 52. Donald Trump's just an actor. It's apprentice actor. You know, and the apprentice equals 211. 211 is the 47 prime. This is the world you live in. It's a manufactured reality. And you'll be like, oh, but these other numbers, I mean, guys, these can't throw you off. These are multiple rituals. There's a reason to call it 67 in there. You know, Freemasonry fits 67. It's a language. I just don't know how else to explain this. Because it's a sad reality. After this video, someone will still say this is crap, that I'm just making things up. I mean, come on. 179 days from the day he dies, the anniversary. Ronald Wilson Reagan. What a theatrical stage performer. Okay, I did want to see from 2004. I might not see something immediately, but they do this too. $756 weeks. Interesting enough, is also, it's not exactly 173 months, but 173 is the 40th prime number. Ronald Reagan, the 40th president. Death 25. You know, death 25 from the 40th president. Interesting. $5291. Don't know if that's a prime number, but only one way to find out. Nope. All right, well, we're probably gonna close it off here. 20 minutes, solid time for this. If you're new here, I hope you now can leave this video knowing that this is what's going on. You can even do more. That's the beauty of this research. You have this entire page of Ronald Reagan propaganda, an entire sheet of George W. Bush propaganda, of George H.W. Bush propaganda. You can do Reaganomics. That's a very big thing. He's known for Reaganomics. You can see how that's all synced up. Masonry 105, Conspiracy 6051, Federal 51. Something, if this is too much for you, I would recommend using Barack Obama. It's very easy. Look for the numbers for slave, Negro, nigger. That's what you do. Obamacare. You get 5932, like Negro. Obama equals 32. Barack Obama equals 32. 76. Negro. 3276. See what I'm saying? So, stuff like that. And with these people, you get to, oh, I would have been so sad if I missed all this. Bush equals 58. Man. Bush equals 58. I hope maybe if you're following along, or you already knew that, you're following along with that tidbit. But remember, he was for 58 combat missions. This piece of propaganda up to 1058. They tell you about the 58 combat missions twice. There. I mean, who knows? I might do it again. 1945 to 48, Freemason 48. Bush equals 58. Bush also equals 50, 23. America 50, 32. And again, 22 the master builder number. Dies in day with 79 numerology, the 22nd prime. Because groomed, born to be. You think this is he's just sitting there contemplating? No, he is an actor. This is a staged photograph, some Masonic symbolism, doing this shit all the time. He's not just listening to his beats, chilling. No, he's acting, taking orders from the Zionist Jews. These are the Bushes. He met his wife at a country club dance in 1941. He's the 41st president. This is symbolic right here. The Chinese president there looked like. So, in one of the comments in Zach's stream, someone mentioned how George H.W. Bush died 223 days from Barbara Bush's funeral. I didn't double check that, but if that's true, that's interesting. And I could just look it up real quick, but at least I mentioned it. So you can, do it yourself if you want to double check that. But even if it's not 223, whatever day it is, obviously from whatever her funeral is and whatever she died, from then to this day is a significant number. That's how it all is. That's what you show with Ronald Reagan. These are builders. You guys are so lazy, so it's hard for you to understand how someone could do all this. Or why someone could do all this. I mean, it's a lot of stuff, but it's like, if you're not a lazy fucker and you actually have other things you do in life besides slave away and watch bullshit shit on TV, then maybe you know what it is to actually do something meticulously. Put a lot of detail into it. You build some giant cathedral, you don't just say, oh, how'd you build all that? It's like, obviously they did a lot of different intricacies and different plannings and all things intertwining to get it like that. They do the same thing with this. Donald Trump. Donald Trump used to be a Democrat, became a Republican later. It doesn't matter what they are. Hell, I'm glad we showed this too. I've shown this before in one of my videos. Bush and Trump in a video together in 1988. Trump equals 88. And remember, George W. Bush, or George H.W. Bush became president in 88, 89. And remember, Donald Trump's racist commercial, that was synced up with the campaign commercial for George H.W. Bush's 1988 campaign. See, this campaign event. There's a racist commercial that he had, and it was synced up with, Trump just had one too now. You see that? And now they're together in 1988 in this propaganda. This is symbolic too. Look at this one-eyed symbolism. This is Illuminati propaganda. This is on purpose. That's what I'm saying. These are actors. This is a stage. Here too. I'm not kidding. Have you ever been to a play and you saw a bunch of actors on stage? This is the same exact thing. And maybe these are some real authentic goy in the back, but right here, an actor right up here, actor right back there. Look at this. Jesuit order fishing, the Jesuit order's colors. I love how they show him in Florida with the death, killing, murder numbers. That's why he's here. Florida also equals 40. That's why he's also in Florida. Florida equals 43. Like Masonic, like Yale. Ossuary equals 118. I just switched on that because remember the skull and bones. That's what ossuary is. The Templars. Templar equals 41. Knights Templar equals 65. Ronald Reagan died 6/5. Templar 41, burying their dead in an ossuary. We have the piling up the bones, the skull and the crossbones at the top. That's what they do. This is the Knights Templars propaganda. This is their colors in this propaganda. The Jesuit order, the Masonic order, and the Catholic Church. The Knights Templar are a different faction, but you know what I mean. They're the military arm of the Catholic Church. Jesuit order runs the Catholic Church. The Zionist Jews run the Catholic Church. The police are from the Catholic Church. A lot of people have been watching my Barbara Bush video, and if you hear from that, now you see what I'm saying. You see how I showed you in that video how she's just an actor, how her death was all ritualistically synced up, and now they're doing it here now with George H.W. Bush. How far are we into this piece of propaganda? There's so many more pictures. I don't know if I can go through the whole thing. Oh, man. Yeah. So I don't want to make this video needlessly long. I want to attract some people. But it's just sometimes hard to stop these videos. Death 25. But I'm just going to have to stop. But see the red and blue pills of Freemasonry. Guys, it doesn't matter. When I was younger, I was always wondering. I always asked myself this, like, wait, because I used to think that you wore the color of the party you're from. And then I was like, well, why do they like flip flop the colors but they still make sure to have it red and blue? And like what I always knew they're trying to tell us something with how they flip the colors. But then now I get it. It's just the red and blue pillars of Freemasonry. These, whatever parties they're affiliated with, doesn't fucking matter. They both sum to 47, Republican and Democrat. These are two actors for the Freemasons. Well, three actors if you count the dad. And the purple. Purple equals 88. A lot of the pictures here were him in 88. His 88 campaign, he became president in 88. That's what's wearing purple. That's exactly why. Again, Masonic ritual equals 88. That's what his entire life was. I'm not even kidding. That's why I love the Inside the Freemasons documentary, because they kept harping about how they love rituals and how it's all about doing to perfection, being on point, just, it's perfect. Just like, you build that big contraption and one thing hits another, hits a spring, hits a thing, hits a that, and then the ball falls into the chute, that type of shit. That's exactly what this propaganda is. That's exactly what the Freemasons love to do. Masonic 115 here in 11/5 in 2008. Mason 28, Masonic 115. And that's the type of shit I was just saying. So these Masonic rituals, These Masonic rituals are so perfectly well done. Oh, I hope we get some good numbers here. Oh, 211, let's see, 47 prime. Oh, what does Obama say? His life is a testament to that public service and a noble calling. Oh, I looked too much. Oh, because I was looking for the race coding. That's why I was like, oh, let's see what we're going to find here. Look at this. It's in February. So, a picture with him and this nigger. That's what they're saying. That's what they're calling him. In February. Nigger 42. February 42. Also have 4896, like Freemason, as the numbers for February. That Black History Month is in February. Black History Month equals 93, 213, Death 213, and Satanic Gematria, Tupac Shakur. Final album came out on February 13th. He dies 213 days later on September 13th. Freemasonry equals 139. Tupac Shakur equals 139. A lot of black people dying by the numbers 93, 39. It's the day that ends on the 59th day of the year, February 28th. Death equals 228. And on top of that, Obama, care equals 59. I already showed this earlier, the Obama Negro pattern. So you see how it's all coming together. That's why it's hard for me to stop this, because I know when we keep scrolling down, the things I talk about keep coming together. And then I can't interrupt the lesson if we need this type of content. So just that alone, him in February, Medal of Freedom. What freedom? There's no freedom at all in this nation. I don't know why they keep using that word. Well, I do. You see this? Medal of Freedom, 68. Who's giving to him? Who's giving to him? Barack Obama. See? Just using the alphabetical order and the rules of numerology. When you reduce, you get 68. When you don't, you get 68 for Barack Obama. I mean, his name is mainly the letters 1 through 9. A through A, B, C, very low value numbers or letters. Syncing this up in this propaganda. Barack Obama equals 76. Medal of Freedom equals 67 reflection. You see the art in this? And then we have Barack Obama giving him the Medal of Freedom in February with the nigger coding. See how specific this is? See how we can just we randomly scroll down here because I skipped a whole bunch of it, and then we got to here and look, uncovered this. Guys, you got to give credit to CNN. They put out really good coded propaganda. It is so easy to expose. This is the easiest thing in my life I've ever done. I'm not even kidding. I don't know what else is easier than this. We were out 33, get 66. 616 is also another representation of 666. A lot of people also think the number of the beast is 616. I think it's also a Michigan area code. But I think that right there is a good place to say, okay, we can stop the video. 33 minutes and something. I mean, I think that's safe enough. Look at this. 2 actors. This toad-looking actor with Barbara Bush, BB, 22, the master builder number. Again, he's dying today with 79 numerology, the 22nd prime. Look at these 3 stage performers. Mr. 42, they say that he's the first black president. Bill Clinton. You know why? Because it equals 42, or he's the 42nd president. Nigger 42. That's why they have him on the other side of this nigger. You have him too, right in the middle, Mr. 43. Here's this Jimmy Carter, another theatrical actor. Yeah, look at this guy. He's a deceiver too. And then here's George H.W. Bush. Red and blue pillars of Freemasonry. Oh, I remember this. The ceremonial coin toss. This was by the numbers. Please check out freetofindtruth.blogspot.com. This is Zach's blog. Guys, majority of these pictures I've shown you, especially like in the newer age, and Obama and all this stuff, because he's documented all this stuff on his blog. So much information about Bush. You can find out. You can search at the top. And the most recent post, the death of Robert Bush. Amazing information. Robert Bush, 9339. The Lemic rituals. Aleister Crowley in 1904. Remember, 194 days from his birthday. George H.W. Bush is dying now. September 11th equals 194. This came out today with 74 numerology. They died on a day with 74 numerology. Masonic 74. Look at his video. 93. That's the views they froze it at with the 5 comments 11. Saturn 511, 93. YouTube honors Saturn, keeper of time. And then they die 121 days apart. Blood sacrifice 121. This is so perfect because I started off this video saying that's why today on 12/1 they're showing us this propaganda. And then Robin Bush. Pauline Robinson Bush. That's Robin Bush. 121 days after George H.W. Bush's birthday. So George H.W. Bush, born June 12, 1953. She dies 121 days later. Blood sacrifice 121. Robert Bush's birthday is June 8th, and his death came 125 days after her birthday. The Lima 125, or on her 126th day of her age. So on counting the end date to span 126 days. And then who's born on 12/6? Her husband. George Bush equals 53. And 53 is when Robin Bush died. Also 18 weeks, reflection of 81, ritual. So this is why this blog's perfect. The Matronator, this site we're on has his blog. So many resources you can use to further understand what's going on. I'm just putting all this out there because I just think there's no excuses. There's no excuses to not get what's going on, to not see the riddles and all the propaganda. So I want to read this myself, without going too much further, but you saw what we all saw there. Here we have President Bush, George Bush. It's from Derek from Gematrinator who built the calculator. Here's his blog. That 94, November 30th. When you're out November 30th, you also get 94. Dying at 94 in November equals 94. The last day of November. This is independent research. We're not, putting our heads together every single time we make a decode. So it's like you see how this is actual thing going on. There's other people showing you what's going on by the numbers. George Herbert Walker Bush equals 253, the 22nd triangular number, dying a day with 79 numerology, the 22nd prime. George Bush equals 163. It's 16 weeks and 3 days before March 25th. 325 is a special number to Scottish Rite Freemasonry. So there you have it. I'm going to close it off here without making this video any longer now. Let's make it 40 minutes, 39 minutes, Masonry 39. Take care.